Floss Tube, it's Jen. Gearing up for 24 hours of cross stitch, take two. So excited to have so many people joining in with us. Today has been absolutely insane. I'm trying the best I can to keep up with people asking to join in on the Facebook group, but it like blew up today. Like we're at almost 400 people in there. I am so excited to see how excited everyone is to do this. We've kind of broken it up into two teams. Thanks, Linda Jo. We've got Team Caffeinate, which I am part of, that's going to be gearing for the full 24 hours and caffeinating as needed to get there. And we've got Team Sleep. And Team Sleep is by far winning. That is the amount of, people that are probably, smarter than me and saying, I'm going to stitch for a while, but then I'm sleeping because sleep. And I get that. I do. I'm just nuts. And, it's been fun to see who's kind of joining in where. And I just can't say enough. I'm so excited that you guys are excited about this. So thank you for doing this with us. I've geared up. I'm doing Year at Hawk Run Hollow. Looks like this if you haven't seen it. I'm going to be doing each block individually. So I'm not doing it as one big giant piece. Because that would scare me to death to be starting every one like all over and that I didn't count out the borders right. So not doing that. I'm doing them as individuals. I had seen Vanna over at the Twisted Stitcher. She did her Calendar Girls, I think it's Little House. And she has one that she'll set out and then the rest are in a basket and right next to it. And then each month you can just swap them out and change it. And I love that because I am horrible at remembering to change my seasonal stuff. So, and the fact that like then I wouldn't have to go and find a new basket to do it or like what storage tub it's in. It's just right next to it. Love it. So that's my plan for these, which meant I had to cut the fabric all into pieces in order to get it ready, which was a little scary. My mom's getting her stuff ready. Over at her stitchy spot too. She's gonna hop on the film a little bit more this time. Well, more because she didn't at all last time. But I'm sure you'll still be hearing her in the background as we're going. She's not as close. Oh, yeah. We moved our stitching spots. So she's farther away. However, I think you might hear some of the crinkling that was just going on. We're going to get a microphone. That's our next purchase for this whole venture because we got tax refund money. So we're going to need a microphone that will hopefully eliminate some of our background noise that we've been having. But I'm doing this on 36 count Confederate Gray by Weeks Dye Works. We cut these into 12 pieces and I went ahead and did like the border on this one across and down. I'm going to have to take probably that out. That was my checking stitch count line. Because they're tight. Like usually I give myself a 2" by 2" allowance for framing, but because I'm going to be doing these as a flat fold, my mom doesn't need as much to wrap it around. And if we need to add other fabric to make it bigger, we can, but why waste good linen for that part? So that's what we did. I have all 12 of them started, top left corner, and not as much on all of them. I just kind of wanted to give myself that corner. What I did was I took a piece of cardstock and cut it to size of what they will be on the stitch count and put it in the middle and then just kind of went around it because they're not all quite the same size, and rather than measuring like 3/4 of an inch or whatever I was giving myself, I figured that way I could see it in the middle. We're hoping I did it right. But the reason I started it now instead of the middle of the night is I don't measure well when I am fully awake. So measuring when I'm sleep deprived is typically when I'm going to make my mistakes. So I have all of those ready to go. Needles are in there with it. I'm going to be keeping it in my awesome new clock bag. We were at one of our fabric stores and my mom looked down and saw this writing fabric and was like, oh, what's that say? And then we were like, oh, wait, that's perfect. Because we were having such a hard time finding a liner fabric for it. But I love these little pocket watches. We found 3 clock fabrics. We were everywhere. But we found 3 clock fabrics. This one, of course, was not on sale because I liked it best. So we got some of that one. We also found this fabric. And this one. So these right here are my bag, Brandon's bag, and my mom's bag. And we got enough fabric to make some more. So we are going to be probably giving those as part of our giveaways, along with a gift certificate and some other stuff that I will share throughout the video. So we will be doing that though. I will announce after this is all said and done how the giveaway is going to work. Right now, if you're participating, you're part of the whole drawing, and we'll talk about that later, though that's not important right now. So that's what's happening here. I can't think if there was anything else. We've got our mac and cheese in. We're going carb heavy. Not no keto here today. So we've got mac and cheese in the crock pot. I don't think we're going to do the breakfast casserole. Don't think we're going to need it. We've got some other snacks. We've got some veggies. We've got some fruit. My aunt came over with a fruit and veggie tray for us. She was like, "You're nuts, but here's some snacks." So it's, we're gearing up. Brandon is working until around 4, so he's going to get himself together, and then he'll be coming up. I'm not sure for how long he's like, he hasn't committed to any amount of time yet, but he's like, this just doesn't hold my attention like video games do. Like, I like it, but I think streaming will get him hooked. So we're going to be streaming onto his Switch stream. We kind of figured out how to get my stitching on there too. So I think that'll work. And I honestly, I don't understand with I'm nervous to do it on YouTube because we're going to have 24 in the background, and I wasn't sure if that was copyright law or if I could get in trouble for that, and I didn't want to risk it. So if you know anything about that with the live videos on YouTube, let me know. I'm learning. So that is our plan. Super excited. Thanks for doing this with us. And I didn't even get my mug of coffee to show you. I have a mug. I have quite a few mugs, you'll see, as the night progresses. Gonna caffeinate, drink some water, all of it. My mom's gonna get me the mug, and maybe she'll hop on to say hi. So the perks of not having to edit this out now. So first mug up is, and there's my mom.
Here I am. No, I'm not ready. I don't even remember how to look. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Here's my mug. There's my mug. So keep coming cross stitch. That's what I'm using first. We are ready to go. Do you want to show what you're going to be stitching?
Oh, I can.
Oh, she's here, so she'll show you what she's going to be stitching.
I am, if you've watched some of my other stuff, I'm a Noah's Ark collector, have been for years. And so I have re-gone through and got some. So my last March Madness finish, I did, Jen, you should hold it. A Noah's Ark, and it's a Prairie Schooler, and it was from
the 2x2.
2x2,
and then there's another one 2x2 too.
Right. So then I since March 31st, I finished my arc. So I'm going to be working on the pairs of animals. There are actually 12 pairs of animals throughout both of the leaflets that have 2. So I'm going to work on one of the pairs every 2 hours, and if I have extra time, there's a couple extra elephants are by themselves. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm going to be doing while she's doing her madness. So anyway, I will see you later, and I'll get back to Jen.
So that's what's happening here. Super excited. She started this. This was her last start for Stitch Madness, and she was able to finish it. There's a lot of stitches in this thing. She's not doing magical stitches with me, and she's just like, Jen, if I was counting, I would win. That's why I think she needs to do it, because she would be super competitive for whatever house she got into. That's what's happening here. Super excited, ready to stitch. Got about half an hour left of time, so gonna go make some coffee, going to drink some more water, and check in on the Facebook group and see what's happening there. Okay, talk to you guys soon.
The following takes place between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Okay, 2 hours down. Things I have noticed about my stitching that I don't know that I necessarily realized last time. I don't talk when I cross stitch. My mom and I don't have active conversations going. Brandon's up here now. I don't really talk to him either. So I tried to have Discord open, and I'm like, I don't say words. I count and count a cross stitch. I don't know. Didn't realize that. So I was working on the first block of Year at Hawk Run Hollow. I did a lot of ripping out. A lot. I don't know if I just wasn't focused or what, but I just kept messing up. And it was all text, and I hate text stitching. So I have I have the first corner done. It's all black too, all 310s. So I'm hoping the next block is not all 310. But I got a bunch done. Again, had to rip out a bunch of letters. I was counting my stitches now because that's a new thing that I do. And so this is a little over 300 stitches. Um, so about 45 minutes. I was pretty distracted because there was a lot going on Facebook, especially that first hour with people wanting to get into the group. And I really wanted to be able to let everyone be in if they wanted to be in. So there was that. And then, I just didn't get as much done as I thought. That's a theme though for me. So my mom, on the other hand, who needs to stop being on Instagram or whatever she's doing right now and come over, did have a finish. So Brandon is giving her her cue and she is heading over because she was able to get her first pair of animals finished for her prairie schooler 2x2. Hold on, I'm trying to continue talking until she gets over here.
I'm here.
But she is coming. Okay, I'm gonna hold it because that confuses her. So there are her two penguins. How cute are they?
Yeah, they're very cute. There is like this little weird thing underneath them.
There's like a little thing on the border.
But I'm not sure I'm going to do them for the pillows or whatever I'm making. So that is okay. I'll just leave it. They all have a little thing up the top like that, a leaf thing. But yeah, so the penguins are finished. So I finished 2 animals
She
in
did
2
change the
hours.
text color because, or not the text color, the
No,
stitching thread color,
right.
because the original pattern called for like a brown.
The 3, yeah,
It was like the prairie schooler
3371.
black brown.
Right, and I just didn't want that for the penguins or for the zebras I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's
Some of
a
the
good
other,
call.
yeah, I may use that, but I needed black for the penguins. So,
Definitely.
yeah, so they're
So
cute.
she got to finish. So I'm moving on to February. And oh, I wanted to point out, where am I? Look there's my mom's time to stitch. That's what she worked on our first 24 hours, and she finished it into a clock. It's super, super cute. It just needs to have, we need like some like roping around the edges of it. I can actually, look at this. I can bring it closer so you can see it. I'm very crooked too. My mom's apparently rubbing off on me. So that's what she did the last 24 hours as our start. And it looks so cute finished on the clock face. I didn't think I was going to stitch that. I didn't think I would want to until I saw it stitched. So, but I've decided I think I need it for my clock wall. I might do it on a smaller count fabric and finish it into a smaller, well, maybe, I don't know, some sort of clock that will hang on my clock wall. Anyway, that's what's happening here. Brandon is up here. I think we are going to be streaming soon. Not that you guys know because this is not going to be posted until after that. Someday I will understand that concept. So we've got our mac and cheese. That is looking really good. And I'm going to get another cup of coffee, I think, and then go from there. Keep stitching, guys. See you.
The following takes place between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m.
Hi guys, it's Jen again. Just wanted to check in. We are 4 hours in, and I am just finishing up working on my second block of Hawk Run Hollow. So that was February last couple hours. So I got this much done. So I'm a little confused about color choices because I don't know why this bird is orange. And I spent a lot of time at the beginning of the hour being like, do I want to use orange to stitch this bird? Do I want to try to change colors? And I was like, I'm not getting anything done. So I stitched it in orange and I'm going to see how I like it once the block is done. And then I may rip it out and change it to a different color. But I figured it was just a little bird, so I could do that. So it's at the beginning of the heart that is for February, and it's an ice skating rink. So I was also really confused when I went to pull the color for the heart, and it was not pink or red. I didn't look at the cover picture. So enjoying this so far. I'm having a lot of trouble going into the wrong thread, like missing a thread or adding a thread, and so I've been doing a lot of ripping out because of that. But other than that, it's going pretty good. Getting used to the coverage with 2 strands on 36 count because I usually am a 1 strand on 36 count type of person. So, but I'm getting there, and I'm liking it. My eyes like this better than 40 for right now, so I think I'm glad I'm sticking with it for the next 20 hours. I feel like time is going fast though. Like it's really light here though still. Like it's 8 o'clock, but kids are still outside playing. They almost hit a ball through our window. Mom got a little upset. She is she is stitching and trying to finish up her second. She's using all of her time for these 2 hours. She's trying to finish up. She's working on the flamingos, and she may be dropping her stopping after 2 hours. She may just be going until they get finished. So it's been fun watching what you guys are doing. I think everybody was kind of alongside with me with like, we're in Discord, but we're not really doing it because we're stitching. And it was a thought. We'll tweak this event as it goes and figure out what works and what doesn't and what people need. I broke out some Mountain Dew. Thanks, Stephanie, for the inspiration. Not typically a soda drinker, but Diet Code Red is my downfall. So I've got that going on. I didn't do coffee again. It'll probably be happening soon, but I'm going to guess that during the next filming, I will be having a glass of wine. My favorite.
Guaranteed.
She agrees. So I think I'm going to wait for a little bit, though. I'm not going to quite go into it yet. I was interested to see. I've been counting my stitches, like I told you. The first hour, it was mostly text, and I thought that would go slower. And I had just over 300 stitches. This past segment, 2 hour thing, I got almost 400. So I was at like 396. So I was right about that point. I'm pretty okay with my speed of stitching. I've been taking some breaks, looking at Facebook, checking out pictures, checking out Instagram. So, this event may not be me getting as much progress as I don't know. I didn't feel like I got much progress last time, and I wasn't stopping and doing that all the time. So who knows? Anyway, that's what's going on here. I'm working on March next, and we are changing DVDs in the series. Not changing what we're watching. We're just putting in the second DVD of season 2 of 24. Thanks for stitching with us, guys. Thanks for watching.
The following takes place between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Okay, so several things about this hour. First of all, yeah, there's wine. And it's a really large glass of wine because this, what?
Because my mother filled it.
Well, because my mom filled it, but she was right. Because this last 2 hour segment sucked. And I'm not even allowed to say that word, and I'm 37 years old, and she's cringing that I said that word. I do not know what is wrong with me. I had to pick out stitches more than I did the entire time last time. Entire time. And it's only 9:45. First of all, okay, so I told you before, when I cut all the little squares for my fabric, I used a little piece of cardstock, and I lined it up onto the pieces of fabric to show that I have my border around it. I did this because in the middle of the night, I didn't want to have to stop and measure because math, not my thing. Well, a lot of good it did me because this one really should be going this way. First of all, I mean, they're squares, so I guess it doesn't technically matter, but I am going to be so close. It's really hard to line this up on the film. There is really not much down there. So I don't know if it's going to fit. I mean, it's going to fit. I don't know if it's going to give enough to finish, but we can add. It's fine. I don't know what happened. Every single thing I did, I counted wrong. And I was being really conscious. So I don't know what happened. I'm just really glad that this 2 hours is done because I'm ready to move on to something else. And I was really excited about this block. Sometimes that happens, I guess. The other thing I've noticed, we got those lights for my birthday. The one that has the light at the top and then the magnifier light and then the pattern thing. First of all, my pattern thing, I cannot figure out how to make it stay still. So I can't use that. Second of all, I've decided I really should stop using magnifier because it's made me very, very dependent on a magnifier. And I can see okay not to. So might as well embrace the fact that my eyes are still okay to not need it. So I've just been using the magnifier light as my light. it is so hot sitting under these lights for the amount of time that we are sitting under them. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, it's 75 up here. We're going to turn the air on. Don't tell my dad. I don't know what we're going to do. Um, so that's what's going on here. I don't even. It was just a little ridiculous of 2 hours. I just stopped. Just said, you know what? I'm gonna have to rip it out anyway. I might as well not be making more stitches. That's a good bottle of wine too. Me oh me. Pinot Noir. Um, so moving on to April for me, my mom is she was doing a lion too, and I had the lion because it's the March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb. She's still working on her lions because she's given up the thing where she's switching every 2 hours. Oh, she might switch. She might be back to that. Who knows? That's the thing about this thing. Just do what works for you. There are no rules, which is probably what has surprised everyone about me because there are so many rules for everything I do, and everybody's probably like, okay, I've got to follow Jen's rules right for this thing. And I'm just like, do whatever you want. I don't know, guys. I have loved watching people and checking out the hashtags and like seeing everybody with what they're doing. Candy going out to get coffee. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I just, this is fun. So I'm really enjoying having you guys do it with me. I hope as you're watching these recaps, you have enjoyed it too. We have kind of contemplated that perhaps this is going to just like make you all want to kill me. And, everybody's going to be like, Jen Lee? Come on. No, she's stupid. This was insane, and I don't know why she convinced us to do this. You guys convinced yourselves. I didn't really do that. So that's what's going on here. I'm going on to April, and I think that's it. See you guys later.
The following takes place between 10 p.m. and 12 a.m.
And I'm back. This 2 hour segment was a lot better than the segment before. So I'm feeling a little discouraged the last time I was here. This was also my most, if I'm counting by stitches and gauging that by how productive I was, this was my most stitched segment. It doesn't really look like it because there's not very much done on it, but it was like 450 stitches, so good start on it, a lot of fill-in. There's a few mistakes in there, but if you don't look too closely, you can't tell. And I'm not ripping them out because I spent too much time the last time doing that. So I'm moving on to May. My mom is working on zebras.
Yeah, I'm almost done.
She's almost done the zebras. She stopped the lions, but she is probably going to finish the zebras. So, Brandon is back up here. I'm sure you can hear Watson. She came up to visit for a little bit. I decided that I didn't quite finish my wine, but it was time for some coffee because my eyes are a little heavy and I'm feeling like this mug is quite appropriate for how I'm feeling right now. So I'm going to caffeine up and keep going. The one thing that I've noticed that's different this time is I don't have the breaking in my fabrics. Like I'm on the same fabric continuously, and when you get in a groove with the fabric, that's great, but if you're having trouble with the fabric, it kind of sucks. So, I'm already thinking about what I would do differently the next time. I think it'd be interesting to kind of see each time kind of approach it in a different way. Like this time I'm doing, the 2-hour blocks, so it's different than last time and it's all in the same fabric. Maybe I would attempt one big whip, or I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how you guys are liking this and if this is ever going to be a thing that happens again. Or if everybody's going to say, stop following Jen Lee, which may be a thing. Anyway, I hope your stitching is going well. You've already done it though, so I hope it went well.
The following takes place between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m.
This hour, my mother and my husband have ganged up against me. my
What'd you make me for lunch the other day?
Shut up.
Oh, no. What about
Um,
dinner? Did you make me dinner? Oh. Did you help me with pans? Oh.
yeah, that's Brandon, guys. You've only seen the nice side of Brandon. He's pulling out all the stops. Is that a saying?
Did I say anything on the food?
Not really. It was all pretty true. Um, yeah, so this hour I was working on May. Apparently my light is gonna give me a sunburn, and I've been told I'm not allowed to use it anymore, except that would mean that I'm not allowed to stitch anymore. So that's not happening. So tomorrow, if I'm really burnt by my LED light, I don't know what'll happen. So I was working on May. Got that much done.
No, that's another cat. You don't pay attention to.
No, I don't pay attention to May. You're right, 'cause she's your cat.
Your cat.
So we are still, it's 1:45 here. I've been, trying to check in on Facebook and Instagram as I can. Some people are still at it. Some people I think are cursing me. So, I get it. I'm cursing me too. So I'm right there with you. So is Brandon, and so is my mom. I'm gonna say that I do think the idea to do this again was my mom's.
No one will do it with me. No one will help me.
Guys, I don't think this is going to be as funny the second time around, but yeah, we'll see. I am moving on to June, which is month number 6, but it'll still be 2 more hours before we're halfway through. So, I think it's time for a snack. Maybe some more caffeine. I don't know. She's really grumpy because she doesn't like the thread colors that we're being.
It's green. It's not gray.
Oh, she thinks there may have been a mistake in the pattern because it called for a color that is clearly green. I think she's coming over. So hold on a second. Let her. We'll show you. It's not gonna.
Well, I took it out.
Okay,
Because
so
it
she was giving me
called, and you
ostriches.
cross stitchers out there, 3022. Where is it? 3022. That's what it said.
DMC,
that is
'cause it's
green.
Prairie
It
Sport.
has always been green. I have the old 30-year-old real floss DMC chart.
The card that has
The
all
card
of
that
the
has the real,
floss
not
things
just
on
a
it.
picture. 3022 is green, not gray. And what are those things? Ostriches do not have green legs. So I figured I was going to be able to finish them. That was going good. Then I had to get up and go find a gray color because they even have the elephants in that, and the elephants are not going to be green. So, yes, I'm a little bit grumpy right now because it's now almost 2 o'clock. And you talked me into this again.
This one is all her.
What?
Don't listen. It is frustrating when colors don't kind of like my orange bird that shouldn't, I don't think, be orange. But Brandon did a whole section in the wrong color. I'm surprised he's still awake. I think that's not long for happening anymore. Watson is still up here begging for all of the food.
Still pretzels.
Okay, I am almost out of time and have to go back and post everywhere. So, see you in a bit.
The following takes place between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m.
Okay, so I've learned something new that I wouldn't have thought about prior to doing this yet again. That really doing a project that is one designer split into many little parts doesn't really feel like you're changing anything. So I'm struggling. This past couple hour segment was tough, and I didn't get very far because it was one of those blocks where like I just couldn't find a flow, and then I had 2 hours, and when you can't find a flow quickly, you don't. I don't. I don't know. You might. So I got a little bit done. June. It's a like chapel scene with a wedding. It's not my favorite. I don't really love the colors, so that might have also had part of why it wasn't going. I mean, I think it'll look cute. I just copied the pattern and cut it up because I needed to be able to take pictures of each block. It's a cute scene, and I think it'll look cute once it's done, but it's 4 a.m. and I'm struggling. But well, it's 3:45. It's almost 4 a.m. Almost meeting the halfway point. Glasses, not contacts. Eyes hurt. My mom is struggling in the same way that I was, where she feels like all she's doing is stitching little animals. She is stitching little animals. So I believe she's going to be changing it up. I'm sticking to my rules, so I'm going to keep going with what I'm doing. So that's what we've got going on here. Hope you are enjoying. See you in a bit.
The following takes place between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m.
So I think my mug might say it all. This was not a good 2 hour segment. It was not. A lot of the team sleep people are in bed, and I am very envious at the moment. Not enough to like go to bed, like I'm gonna do this, and I'll be happy that I did it later. But I was having a lot of trouble with my block. So I was on the July block of Year at Hawk Hollow. Sorry, it's so little. And the colors were just not right. So all of the reds were like orange shades, and I just couldn't do it. Like it just didn't feel right. And so it's all like fireworks, which is skipping around. And so I didn't get very far. Got some of the blue fireworks done. Did the white star for the first letter in July. And I hate stitching with white. It wasn't laying right. Like everything was wrong about this. So I did it for the first hour, and I sat there miserably contemplating what, having to pull it back out for the second hour. And let me clarify, it is not that I won't enjoy this piece. It's at the time frame, because I've been stitching on Hawk Run for so long and I'm tired, I needed a break. Like I just couldn't do it. So I did a thing and I broke one of my rules. My mom was like, Jen, just break your rule. You don't have to do this. Nobody made this rule but you. And I decided if I was going to enjoy stitching for the rest until 4 in the afternoon, I needed to pull out a different piece. So I went down to my whips and I just pulled up like 5 whips that I got my clock whip out because it's a Stitch 9 challenge. So I figured that would be an appropriate thing to work on. And then I pulled out my coffee themed things since, I went to grab this mug and my mom told me that I could just pretend.
Oh, bite me.
I don't need to pretend right now. I need the caffeine. So, I thought I could stitch coffee and then maybe it would help there. So, for the second hour, I worked on my clock piece. And I don't have the before picture here for you, but pretty much all I did was I filled in this clock here with the white. But it went a lot smoother and was a lot more enjoyable than trying to continue on Hawk Run. My mom is back to just being in the background. She does not want to be on camera anymore. She is just a tad bit grumpy. Oh. So, that's what's happening here. I am going to, so my plan for the rest of the event is that I'm going to stitch the first hour on the Hawk Run piece. And then if I'm feeling okay with it and I'm enjoying it, I will continue on the second hour. If I am not, I will go to one of my whips. Got to change it up as it goes. It was this or sleep. And I decided I couldn't have invited so many people to do this event with me and then join Team Sleep, even though I wanted to. I don't know, I read somewhere someone just said that Team Sleep was beating my team 100% to 0. Well, of course, because none of my team is done yet, right? all of my team except for me might fail. I might fail. That is not true. I think there are some people that are still going really, really, really strong, and I am envious. So I hope you're having more fun than I did this past hour. Bye, guys.
The following takes place between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m.
Okay, so here's the thing. I love Hawk Run Hollow. Absolutely love it. I love all of them. I, however, have struggled with most of the ones that I've gone to stitch, with the exception of Autumn at Hawk Run, which I got done no problems and didn't have any issues with. I've struggled with the conversion to DMC from the NPI silks because they don't match up. And I find it in a lot of Carriage House stuff. I'm doing the girls series, and when I did Elizabeth, it didn't look like what was on the pattern cover. I just, in something as big as Hawk Run, I don't want to stitch it with the silks, so I want to use DMC, which means what I've learned from this is I actually have to sit and like study the charts and make sure that what is called for is comparable to what I want it to look like, because I'm not going to do that in the moment. I was stitching August, and this tree I love. Like, it's a dark brown and it's rust. This is my tree. It's yellow and it's like tan. And it was just disappointing because those are not anywhere close to the color. So I don't understand where the conversion came from. I don't get it. I don't understand why you would do 3829 for a rust when you've got 920. You've got all of the orange shades that were charted as reds for July. So I am going to say that for today, I am done with a year at Hawk Run Hollow because I just don't want to get so frustrated with it that I don't come back to it. Because I'm going to probably rip this out and do like a conversion. And next time I've learned my lesson, I will actually sit and like figure out that conversion before I start stitching, but not at whatever 5 o'clock in the morning it was when I was trying to do this. So I worked on that for the first hour, got a little frustrated, and just said, I'm done. My plan last hour was that I was going to do Yurt Hawk Run the first hour and then switch to another whip. I'm just done. My hands, I think having to work consistently on the same count fabric, and because I'm doing week style work, I'm using 2 strands, which is out of my comfort zone anyway. I like the coverage on that, but it's different stitching for me. I'm just having a hard time, and my hands are cramping, I think, from holding the really small pieces of fabric. So I spent the second hour, I'm not straying far from Hawk Run, working on map at Hawk Run, and I think this is where I'm going to spend my time for the rest of the 24 hours. It's 32 count, so I'm not struggling with seeing the holes. My fingers aren't hurting from trying to push the needle through the holes, and I'm just going to devote the rest of the day to that. So that's my plan. Feeling better about it. The sun is up. I'm feeling better about that too. And you know, this is all a learning process, I think. You guys, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm as funny this time. But that's what's going on here. Going to get back to stitching. I also, can I just say that I do not remember season 2 of 24 at all. I really thought it was the one with Chloe, and it's not. So I'm a little disappointed about that too. I don't know. This has just been a weird night. Those of you that were watching FlossTube and other things, you might have had the right idea today. So I'm gonna go get back to stitching. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will check in with you and be giving you progress on a completely different Hawk Run than I planned. Sorry.
The following takes place between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m.
So the thing I noticed last time that is very similar this time is that the middle of the night is really hard because it gets really quiet. And it was less quiet this time now that I knew that there were venues to kind of go to and check in with the different groups on Facebook and on Discord, which I'm sorry, I don't know how that app works, and we kind of let it slide and didn't use that to the full potential. But if we do this again, already had a volunteer reach out and say, I'll help. So that will be better. But the group chat on there, not the voice chat, but the group chat has been going really well and pretty strong all night. But it seems like everyone is surfacing and kind of awake and coming back to this, which is, I think, pretty cool that even the people that were team sleep are like, okay, time to go back and stitch. So I'm really grateful to all of you guys for indulging this. The Facebook group's up over 500 members. Like, I can't believe that many people want to do this or have taken an interest into it. And so I'm so thankful for you guys and for being able to create a space that we can do crazy things like this. So I told you in my last filming, I'm giving up on Year at Hawk Run. I am just going to be focusing on Map of Hawk Run Hollow. And I think I'm going to focus on it till I'm done or until I get bored. I'm giving myself some freedom. I'm not giving any more rules. Uh-oh, I think I lost. Oh, no, I found it. So the thing with these huge projects is you don't really see the progress too well, but I did get all of the fenced in area down by the fence finished, and I just have to go down and do the green, and it's like 600 stitches. It's amazing how little that looks like on a big project like this. Yeah, I was contemplating not jumping on and filming every 2 hours anymore, but I feel like I still should. So that's kind of happening here. The next time I hop on, I'm going to talk a little bit about our giveaways and how that's going to be working. So I will give myself a little time to get organized with that, and you won't really even have to wait. So that's how this works. I'm gonna get some more coffee and get settled in, and I don't think our husbands aren't gonna be up for a while. So it'll just be the girls upstairs. I've got my mom and the cats. My cats. Her cat is away. So they're stake and claim. And I am going to get back to stitching. See you in a bit.
The following takes place between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.
Okay, so I've been going strong, doing a lot with Hawk Run Hollow, but I think I'm ready for a break, or a map of Hawk Run Hollow, not a year at Hawk Run Hollow. So this is where I've gotten to now. So I did some more of the grass and started filling in with the other green. So it's going quickly. It just takes a while because it's a really big piece of fabric. But I'm really liking being on the bigger count and just not having to use so much effort to like punch the needle through, because for some reason my fingertips are now very raw. That didn't happen last time. So I'm not sure why it happened this time. So I am going to change it up though next hour, and I'm going to be working on, because I need a break, I'm going to pull out Dead Man's Chest and just do some fill-in and stuff on this. It's another one I have on 32 count, so I figured might as well. And it's one I don't have to pay a tremendous amount of attention to as long as I'm not stitching in the 1/1 spots. So that's what I'm going to do. I said last time that I was going to talk a little bit about our giveaways. So we had mentioned when we first threw this out there that we were going to do a giveaway for a 1-2-3 Stitch gift card, $24 representing the 24 hours. And all you had to do was like let us know that you were participating and then participate. So in order to see who has met their challenge or their goal, it's okay if you didn't email me before, or that's okay, but I need you to either later tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to post in the Facebook group, and I'll post underneath this video a link to a survey for you to complete that just tells us your name, your email, where, like how many hours you stitched for, and just like a few other little questions. Nothing like big, but really the big thing is I need to know that you stitched, that you participated, and and it doesn't have to be exact. It's just like, take a guess. Like I've seen some people using stopwatches, and that's awesome. But really, it doesn't have to be exact. There's no time requirement. So if you didn't do the 24, that's fine. If you did an hour, that's fine. Like whatever you did, just fill that in and just it'll submit it to me, and we'll give about I think a week for that to be going on, for people to be submitting those, and we'll gather that. We're going to be doing the gift certificate, but we also have been gathering, we're nothing without themes, some different 24 related items that involve or can somehow correlate to stitching. So we've got some bobbins, some floss, some needles, some project bags, some just different stitching materials. So we're going to be doing 24 different giveaways. So more than just the one. And again, I said Linda Jo is pretty Southern. She is donating a bag too. So we will be getting that out and be looking for the survey link. It should be below on this video, and I'll also post it in the Facebook group. I didn't want to just have people comment on the videos because I know people from all over are doing this. So wanted to try to be able to reach everybody in order to get them the survey. So feel free to spread it around. That's where I'm at. I'm going to get back to stitching. We're making we didn't put the breakfast casserole in the crock pot last night. So my mom's busy in the kitchen getting something around, and my house hasn't surfaced yet. Brandon's still asleep. So rubbing it in my face, I think. I guess. So that's what's going on here. Gonna keep stitching. I hope you guys are doing well. Bye.
The following takes place between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m.
Okay, I made it through round two. Well, I've got 2 more hours, but I'm pretty sure I'm good to go. So life is settling down here. I worked on Dead Man's Chest this past hour, or 2 hours, and I got some of the lines in to do the grid line for this one because it's all full coverage fill in and a lot of 1/1, so I'd rather have all the grids done so I don't have to worry about all that when I'm doing the other stuff. So that's what I was working on. My mom has been doing some of her Stitch Madness starts, particularly things that were on a larger count than 36 count because eyes hurt after being awake for so long. Yeah, I think I don't really have as much to talk about on this one as I did on the last one, just because I'm not showing you 1,000 things. So I feel like this is a bit of a bummer, bit of a letdown. But you're used to my rambles. So that's what we're doing here. I will be back one more time to kind of give you a recap of what's going on. Finalizing our participation survey now too, so that should be going up soon. So thanks so much everyone that has stitched with us and has just enjoyed this. We'll, if there's interest, we'll do it again. So maybe if everybody isn't ready to kill me in this house, which they might be. So we will see. I'm tired. And that's the other thing. It's like, what do you do for the rest of the day? And starting this at 4 o'clock, it's kind of like, okay, what comes next? I'm going to take a shower. Probably have some wine. And then what? I'm going to sit on the couch and not stitch? That's weird. Like, that's my couch activity. Because I don't want to go to bed till like regular time. Otherwise, I'll be all over the place. So I might still be stitching later. I don't know. Next hour, I will give you my total stitch count that I've gotten done this 24 hours. Actually, I'm not that impressed with the amount of stitches. It was a little bit of a letdown because I feel like I got more done when I was doing my massive sheltering tree day where I had to finish the whole thing and got like 3,000 stitches in just because I wanted to finish it. But we'll see. Maybe it'll add up a little differently, or I'll get a spurt of energy these past next 2 hours. So that's about all that's happening here. I'll be back once more. Bye.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m.
Hey guys, it's Jen. So another 24-hour event is done in my books. This one didn't seem, I don't think it was as hard as the last one, but I also don't think I was as engaged in my stitching as I was in the last one. I think it's because I had some issues with my projects and I stuck with them a little bit too long. I should have just let it go and pulled out my whips and just changed it up. But I get a little set in my ways and don't do that. So this last hour, I was going and I was doing pretty good until I ran out of black DMC, which I had extra. So I threaded my floss card and flung my needle across the room. And I have more. I used to be a person that only had one needle. Like literally, I had one needle and I would transfer it from project to project. Granted, I didn't have like 60 projects going at a time. It was more like, three. But now I buy them in bulk and I have them, a lot of them, but I didn't feel like getting one out because it just was kind of done. So I did track my stitch count this time just to see because I was curious. And so I did a little, I think it was 4255 stitches, 4,255 stitches. So it didn't seem like that many more than when I finished a sheltering tree though, because that was like a little over 3,000 and I also put 600 in that day. So I don't know. I think I was just stitching slower because I wasn't as thrilled about the project. I am thrilled about the project. It's just I had some hiccups. So I'm going to do some floss conversions and do some ripping out and things like that and hopefully get it to a place where I'm enjoying it more. So there's that. I just want to take a minute too and just thank everyone that participated in this with us. I put out a survey. It's up on Facebook now. The link is below if you haven't completed it yet. If you participated, we would love to hear from you. I put it up like less than an hour ago. The event, it wasn't even over yet, and we already have over 80 responses of people that joined in and did this. I am astounded. So thank you for running with this. I love that. And whatever I can do, we'll do this again. We'll tweak it. We've gotten some really good suggestions already on how we can make it more conducive to different people. And, like I said, we had some issues with Discord and things, and we're trying to get Twitch up and running here just to make it a little bit, it was more interactive than it is, but not, I think, as much as it could be. However, I think you have to take into account that this is kind of a quiet hobby. Like if you're at a retreat and you're stitching, not that I've ever been to a retreat, but if you're at the retreat and you're stitching, you're talking and you're not getting much stitching done, right? That's what I would assume is it's more of the social gathering. And while I love that this can have a social aspect to it, I still wanted to get progress done. Like I still wanted to see how much I could accomplish in the 24 hours. So I pretty much stayed off of Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that when I was trying to focus on stitching. I don't know how you guys did it. I'm really excited to see how it was, like what your kind of motivations were for it. So that's what's going on in my head. I am going to go take a long hot shower. I am going to then pour a large glass of wine, and I am going to probably catch up on Facebook and Instagram and all of the comments that you guys have done and all of the beautiful pictures that you've posted. Oh my goodness, there's been some amazing projects, and I can't wait to add to my lists of things that I need to stitch someday before I die, because I'm living forever. That's basically what it comes down to. I don't know where my mom is. I'm going to pause right now real quick and see if she wants to hop on and say goodbye or just say hi. I'm not sure. So I will be. I found her. So you're over.
Thank you. We had so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It was really fun the first time we did it. We weren't sure how it would go, but it was a lot of fun. And this time was really a lot of fun knowing there were so many people doing it and so many people so excited. Mm-hmm. So it's a great new thing we can do. It's almost like having a reunion or something. Mm-hmm. We can do, maybe every couple of months or so, give everybody a break and see what everybody's thinking. But like we said, it'll be fun to see your suggestions and how we can tweak it and make it better for everybody and fun for everybody. But it was really fun. It was
Yeah.
neat knowing there were so many people doing it.
And I
So,
think one thing we realized is it doesn't have to be the same thing every time. Like, the same thing isn't going to work for every person that can do this. So even though we do one format one time, it doesn't necessarily have to follow the exact same format the next time. So we'll play.
yeah.
We're flexible. Hopefully you guys will be too, and we'll figure something out. But for now, Facebook group is staying there, so feel free to continue to connect with the stitchers you were stitching with, and I look forward to seeing you guys around.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a great rest of the weekend and a good night's sleep tonight. If you
Yes.
did 24,
You'll
we can
sleep good.
tell you last time we slept so good the next night. So, anyway, have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.